If you're hearing this right now, it's not an accident. Something beyond your conscious awareness has guided you to this moment. Maybe you've been seeking clarity, searching for meaning, or wondering if life is leading you somewhere important. And then, suddenly, this message appears, right when you need it most. That's not just coincidence. That's synchronicity. Carl Jung called it the phenomenon of meaningful coincidences. Events that seem random but, when looked at closely, reveal an invisible thread connecting them to your inner journey. It's the book that falls off the shelf, the unexpected conversation that changes everything, the repeating numbers on the clock, or a message like this showing up at just the right time. These aren't just quirks of fate. They are signs, whispers from the universe, nudging you in a direction you might not even realize you need to go. But here's where it gets even more profound. If everything in existence is energy, as quantum physics suggests, then our thoughts, emotions, and intentions send ripples into the unseen fabric of reality. Masaru Emoto, in The Hidden Messages in Water, demonstrated how human consciousness affects the molecular structure of water. When exposed to loving, high-vibrational words, water formed intricate, beautiful patterns. When exposed to negativity, its structure became chaotic. Now think about this. Your body is mostly water. Your mind, your beliefs, your emotions, they shape your reality far more than you might realize. The moment you begin to understand this, something shifts. You start to see how nothing in your life is truly random. Every challenge, every delay, even the moments of uncertainty are all part of a greater design. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to feel frustrated, as if the universe isn't listening. But what if it is? What if, instead of being denied, you're being redirected? Think about the times in your life when something didn't work out the way you wanted, only to later realize it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe you lost an opportunity, only to find a better one. Maybe you faced rejection, only to be guided toward something more aligned with your soul. The universe's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. There's an ancient saying, "What is meant for you will never pass you by." The key is to trust, to surrender the need to control every detail and allow life to unfold in its own rhythm. Because when you do, you begin to notice the signs, the synchronicities, the way the universe speaks in whispers and nudges rather than loud declarations. You begin to realize that your soul has always known the way. Right now, you might be questioning your path. Maybe you're struggling with uncertainty, wondering if you're making the right choices, if you're on the right track. But let me remind you, if you are here, listening to this, then you are exactly where you need to be. The universe has not forgotten you. The journey ahead is unfolding in ways you can't yet see, but trust that every step, even the ones that feel uncertain, is leading you somewhere meaningful. Take a deep breath. Let go of the worry, the doubt, the need to have all the answers right now. Trust that this moment, this message, has reached you for a reason. The universe is guiding you, and soon, everything will make sense. The weight of struggles, a necessary catalyst for growth. Pain has a way of making us question everything. When life feels overwhelming, when the weight of challenges presses down on you, it's easy to wonder, why? Why does suffering exist? Why do we go through hardships that shake us to the core? But what if suffering isn't just something to endure? What if it's an essential part of your spiritual evolution? Buddhism teaches that suffering is not a mistake, but a universal truth. The Four Noble Truths reveal that pain arises from attachment, clinging to how we think life should be rather than accepting it as it is. But here's the deeper wisdom. Suffering is also the path to awakening. The very struggles that feel unbearable are often the ones that lead us to the most profound transformation. Think about a time in your life when you faced immense difficulty. Maybe it was loss, heartbreak, or a moment where everything seemed to fall apart. At the time, it felt like an ending. But looking back, can you see how it shaped you? How it refined you? Psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun call this post-traumatic growth, the idea that deep suffering can lead to an even deeper expansion of wisdom, strength, and purpose. Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, wrote in Man's Search for Meaning that even in the darkest conditions, those who found meaning in their suffering were able to endure and transcend it. He discovered that the difference between despair and resilience wasn't circumstance, it was perspective. Those who saw suffering as meaningless were broken by it. Those who saw it as part of a greater purpose emerged stronger, more compassionate, and more connected to life's deeper truths. This is the hidden alchemy of pain. In ancient mystical traditions, alchemists sought to turn lead into gold. But the deeper meaning of alchemy isn't about metals, it's about the transformation of the soul. Just as fire purifies gold, suffering refines us. It strips away illusions, forces us to confront our deepest fears, and pushes us beyond our perceived limitations. It's through hardship that we develop resilience, through loss that we learn gratitude, through struggle that we discover our inner power. When we stop fighting against suffering and instead ask, "What is this teaching me?" everything changes. We begin to see that pain is not here to destroy us. It is here to awaken us. Every difficulty carries a lesson, a hidden wisdom waiting to be uncovered. So if you're going through something heavy right now, know this: you are not being punished. You are being shaped. Your soul is growing in ways you cannot yet see. One day, you'll look back and realize that this moment, the one that feels unbearable now, was actually the turning point. The moment when everything started to shift, when the deeper purpose of your journey began to reveal itself. Take a breath. Trust that this pain has meaning. The universe is not breaking you, it is remaking you. The unseen roots. Growth happens beneath the surface. There's a reason why change feels slow, why progress often seems invisible. Real transformation doesn't happen in an instant. It happens beneath the surface, in the quiet spaces where no one is looking. Think of a tree. Before it ever reaches toward the sky, before a single branch or leaf appears, something crucial is happening underground. Its roots are stretching deep into the soil, anchoring it, drawing in the nourishment it needs to grow strong. Without this unseen foundation, the tree would collapse under its own weight. Your life works the same way. Right now, you may feel like nothing is changing, like your efforts aren't paying off. But just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. Growth happens in phases. There are times of visible expansion, where everything feels exciting, where doors are opening and opportunities are flowing. But then there are the quiet seasons, the moments of stillness where it feels like nothing is moving forward. These are the moments that test us. But they are also the moments where the most important transformation is taking place. Ayurveda speaks of ojas, the subtle essence of vitality that builds over time. It is not created through force or rushing. It is cultivated through patience, nourishment, and trust in the process. This concept aligns with what modern psychology has uncovered about delayed gratification, the ability to wait, to endure short-term discomfort for long-term rewards. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment revealed that those who could resist immediate gratification often achieved greater success and fulfillment later in life. But what does this mean for you? It means that right now, even if you can't see the results, the work you're doing, the lessons you're learning, the resilience you're building, is preparing you for what's to come. Bruce Lipton, in The Biology of Belief, explains that our thoughts and emotions don't just influence our mood, they literally shape our biology. The way you think about your journey directly impacts the reality you experience. If you believe nothing is happening, you will feel stagnant. If you trust that growth is occurring beneath the surface, you will cultivate the patience and perseverance needed for real transformation. So if you're feeling frustrated, if you're questioning why things are taking so long, remember this: the most powerful growth is often the kind you can't see right away. Just like the tree, your roots are deepening, your foundation is strengthening, and when the time is right, the results will become visible. But for now, trust the process. The universe is not delaying you, it is preparing you. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe sees your efforts. Nothing goes unnoticed. Have you ever wondered if all the effort you're putting in, the late nights, the sacrifices, the silent battles you fight within yourself, actually matters? Maybe you felt like you're doing everything right, but the results still aren't showing up. It can be frustrating, even disheartening. But here's the truth: nothing you do is ever wasted. Every choice, every action, every intention is creating ripples in ways you cannot yet see. In Eastern philosophy, the concept of karma teaches that every action has a consequence, even if it doesn't appear immediately. Hinduism and Jainism describe karma as a force that works beyond time, ensuring that everything you give out, energy, kindness, effort, eventually returns to you in some form. This isn't about punishment or reward in the way we typically think. It's about balance. The universe is always in motion, always responding to the energy you put out, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Quantum physics offers a fascinating parallel. The phenomenon of quantum entanglement suggests that everything in the universe is interconnected, that one particle's movement can instantaneously affect another, no matter how far apart they are. If energy can transcend space and time, then every thought you think, every step you take toward your goals, is contributing to something greater than you can perceive. You are influencing the future in ways beyond your immediate awareness. This idea aligns with what Gary Zukav explores in The Seat of the Soul. He suggests that when we align our actions with higher intention, when we act with integrity, love, and purpose, the universe responds by moving us toward our highest potential. But this movement doesn't always happen on our timeline. Sometimes the results are delayed, not because we are being ignored, but because the right circumstances have not yet aligned. Psychology also provides insight into this. Effort justification theory explains why the things we work hardest for tend to hold the deepest meaning. When something comes too easily, we often don't value it as much. The struggles, the setbacks, the long periods where it seems like nothing is changing, these aren't signs that you're failing. They are what make the final outcome truly meaningful. So if you've been working, trying, pushing forward, and it feels like no one sees it, know this: the universe sees it. Nothing goes unnoticed. Every moment of perseverance, every time you choose to keep going when it would be easier to quit, is shaping your future in ways beyond your imagination. Your efforts are being recorded, not on paper, not in the physical world where results are immediate, but in the energetic field of existence itself. The breakthrough you seek may not come in the way you expect, but it will come. Trust that the universe is always keeping score, not in a way that punishes or rewards, but in a way that ensures every ounce of effort you put in will find its way back to you when the timing is right. You are seen, you are heard, and your time is coming. The darkest nights lead to the brightest sunrises. There is a reason why life's hardest moments feel endless, why darkness can seem so overwhelming that it convinces you the light will never return. But here's what you must remember: nothing stays the same forever. The universe moves in cycles, and just as the night must eventually give way to the dawn, your struggles are leading you towards something brighter than you can imagine. Taoist philosophy teaches that existence operates in a natural rhythm. yin and yang, the interplay of opposites. Darkness and light are not enemies, they are necessary counterparts. Without difficulty, ease would have no meaning. Without confusion, clarity could not exist. This is why the moments that break you are often the same moments that awaken something deeper within you. In Sufism, there is a concept known as fana, the dissolution of the ego, the process of stripping away illusions until all that remains is truth. This process is not gentle. It requires loss, uncertainty, and surrender. But through it, something remarkable happens. The false layers of identity fall away, and you emerge as something stronger, wiser, and more connected to the universe than ever before. This is why the darkest nights of the soul often precede the most profound transformations. The Dark Night of the Soul, a work by St. John of the Cross, describes this as a period of spiritual emptiness where everything familiar seems to vanish. The purpose of this darkness is not to destroy you, but to remove everything that no longer serves you. It is a purification, a preparation for the next stage of your evolution. Neuroscience offers a similar perspective. Angela Duckworth's research on grit reveals that the ability to endure hardship, not talent, not intelligence, not luck, is the single greatest predictor of long-term success. Resilience is not built in moments of ease. It is forged in the fires of difficulty, in the moments where giving up seems like the only option, but you choose to keep going anyway. So if you are in a dark season of life right now, know this: it is not the end. It is the turning point. The pain, the uncertainty, the feeling of being lost. These are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are in the midst of transformation. The universe is not punishing you. It is preparing you. And when the time is right, when the lessons have been absorbed and the old has made way for the new, the light will return. And when it does, you will understand why you had to go through the darkness. You will see that every tear, every moment of despair, was leading you towards something greater than you ever imagined. The sunrise is coming. Trust that it is already on its way. Healing is not linear, embracing the journey. Healing is one of the most misunderstood processes in life. People often think of it as a straight path, something that moves in a single direction, from pain to peace, from brokenness to wholeness. But the truth is, healing doesn't work that way. It's not a simple process of getting better. It's a spiral, one that takes you forward, backward, and sometimes in circles before revealing its full purpose. Ancient shamanic traditions understood this deeply. Healing was never seen as a destination, but as a journey of transformation, one where a person had to surrender to the cycles of life, rather than resist them. In many indigenous cultures, initiations into higher wisdom often required going through periods of suffering, solitude, and even symbolic death before rebirth. This mirrors the natural world, seasons of growth and expansion followed by seasons of retreat and rest. Modern psychology echoes this truth. Brené Brown, in The Gifts of Imperfection, explains that healing is not about becoming invulnerable. It is about embracing our imperfections, allowing ourselves to be seen, and understanding that true strength comes not from avoiding pain, but from moving through it with courage. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the very thing that allows healing to take place. The law of rhythm, one of the Hermetic principles, states that life moves in cycles, expansion and contraction, highs and lows, movement and stillness. If you look closely, you'll notice this rhythm everywhere. The waves in the ocean rise and fall. The moon waxes and wanes. The seasons shift from growth to dormancy. And in the same way, your own healing process will follow its own natural rhythm. Some days you will feel like you're making progress. Other days, you may feel like you've taken 10 steps backward. But even in those difficult moments, you're still growing. Neuroscience also supports this idea. The brain is capable of neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire itself, to form new connections, and adapt through adversity. But this rewiring doesn't happen overnight. It takes repetition, patience, and most importantly, self-compassion. Healing requires allowing yourself to feel, to grieve, to process, without forcing yourself to move on before you're ready. So if you've been wondering why old wounds still surface, why emotions you thought you had healed continue to rise up, know this: it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you are human. It means your soul is still untangling lessons, still working through the process in its own divine timing. Trust that your healing is unfolding exactly as it should. You are not broken. You are in motion, flowing through the cycles of transformation just as nature intended. There is no rush. There is no finish line. There is only this moment, this breath, this step forward. Even when it feels slow, even when it feels like nothing is changing, trust that every part of your journey is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. The power of the present moment. Right now, in this very moment, there is nothing missing. But the mind has a way of pulling us away, convincing us that peace, happiness, or clarity exists somewhere else, somewhere in the future, or buried in the past. This is the great illusion that keeps so many people trapped, always chasing, always waiting, never realizing that the only real power they have exists in the present. Both Buddhist and Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of presence. The past is a memory, the future is a possibility. But the only thing that truly exists is now. Yet so many of us spend our lives caught between regret and anticipation, missing the richness of the present moment. Eckhart Tolle, in The Power of Now, explains that suffering is not caused by our actual circumstances, but by our resistance to them. When we accept the present moment fully, without trying to escape it or control it, suffering dissolves. Quantum physics suggests something fascinating. The observer effect, the idea that simply observing a situation changes its outcome. This means that where you place your awareness has a direct impact on your reality. When you focus on what's lacking, you experience more lack. When you focus on presence, on gratitude, on what is already here, your reality begins to shift in ways that seem almost magical. But being present isn't just about sitting still or meditating. It's about fully engaging with life as it unfolds. It's about feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, listening to the subtleties of a loved one's voice, noticing the small miracles that happen in everyday life. It's about learning to breathe deeply, to feel deeply, to live fully. There's a reason why so many ancient spiritual traditions emphasize the breath. In Vedic teachings, prana, the life force, flows through the breath. When you become conscious of your breathing, you instantly reconnect to the present. Try it now. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. In that single breath, you are fully here, fully alive. It's easy to think that peace or enlightenment is something we must search for, but the truth is, you already have access to it. You don't need to wait for the future to bring you what you seek. The answers, the clarity, the transformation you long for, it's all within you, right here, right now. The more you practice presence, the more life begins to feel effortless. Worries begin to fade. Overthinking loses its power, and what remains is a quiet, steady awareness that everything is as it should be. So take this moment, feel it, sink into it. The past is gone, the future is unfolding in its own time. But this moment is yours, and it is enough. Trusting the universe's timing. There is a rhythm to life that exists beyond our understanding. Some things arrive effortlessly, while others seem to evade us, no matter how much we chase them. But what if the delays, the detours, and even the disappointments were not signs of failure, but signs of perfect alignment? What if every event, every pause, every unexpected turn was unfolding according to a divine schedule, one that we cannot always see, but that is always working in our favor? The universe operates on timing that is often beyond human comprehension. In astrology, planetary transits are believed to influence the course of events, shifting energies in ways that affect both individuals and the collective. There are periods of expansion and periods of contraction, moments of forward motion and moments of stillness. But just because something isn't happening now doesn't mean it isn't happening at all. Carl Jung's synchronicity and a causal connecting principle explores the idea that there are unseen forces orchestrating events, bringing people, opportunities, and lessons into our lives at precisely the right time. Have you ever noticed how, when you stop forcing things, they often flow more effortlessly? How, when you let go of control, the right answers seem to appear on their own? That's because forcing something before its time creates resistance. But when you surrender, you allow the universe to bring things into your life when they are truly meant for you. The ancient Zoroastrian concept of Fravashi suggests that each soul has a preordained divine blueprint, a path that is uniquely meant for them. But the way that path unfolds is not something we can dictate with sheer willpower alone. There are moments when we must act, and there are moments when we must trust. Trying to rush divine timing is like trying to force a flower to bloom before it's ready. The petals must open naturally, in their own time, at their own pace. Modern psychology also supports this idea. Self-determination theory, developed by Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, suggests that the deepest fulfillment comes not from forcing outcomes, but from aligning with intrinsic motivation, following the natural flow of passion, purpose, and inner calling. When we trust that life is unfolding in the right way, we operate from a place of peace rather than desperation. And in that space of trust, the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances begin to align effortlessly. So if something in your life feels delayed, if an answer hasn't arrived, if a dream seems just out of reach, trust that the universe has not forgotten you. What is meant for you cannot be lost. The path is already unfolding, even if you can't see it yet. Timing is not something to fight against. It is something to trust, because when the time is right, everything will fall into place in a way that is better than you ever imagined. Manifestation through letting go. Manifestation is often misunderstood. Many people believe that to create the life they desire, they must constantly think about it, chase it, and push for it to happen. But the truth is, the more you grasp, the more you resist. The more you try to control the outcome, the more it seems to slip through your fingers. Real manifestation isn't about force, it's about allowing. In Zen Buddhism, there is a principle known as Wu Wei, which translates to effortless action. It teaches that the greatest flow happens when we stop trying to manipulate life and instead move in harmony with it. It's not about doing nothing, it's about doing what is necessary and then trusting that the universe will handle the rest. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that in time it will bloom. Your dreams work the same way. Florence Scovel Shinn, in The Game of Life and How to Play It, explains that manifestation happens not through obsession, but through faith. When we detach from an outcome, when we stop fixating on when or how it will come, we create space for the universe to work in ways we might not expect. The reason so many desires seem just out of reach is because we hold on to them too tightly, suffocating them with doubt and impatience. Even science supports this. Behavioral economics prospect theory suggests that people fear loss more than they desire gain, which often leads them to resist change or cling to what feels familiar. But true manifestation requires letting go, not of the desire itself, but of the attachment to how and when it must happen. The Kabbalistic tree of life describes a balance between action and surrender. We are meant to take inspired steps toward our goals, but then we must trust that the energy we've put into motion will return to us in divine timing. When you let go of resistance, you open the door for things to happen in ways better than you ever imagined. Think about a time in your life when something wonderful happened unexpectedly. Something you didn't force, something that came effortlessly. That's the universe at work. And it's a reminder that life doesn't require struggle to bring you what you need. So what if, instead of chasing, you allowed? What if, instead of worrying, you trusted? Manifestation isn't about demanding from the universe, it's about aligning with it. Take action, set your intentions, and then release your grip. The things meant for you are already making their way to you. You don't have to fight for them. You just have to be open to receiving. The path to abundance and fulfillment. Abundance is not something you chase, it is something you align with. Most people believe that success, wealth, love, and happiness are things they must strive for, something that exists outside of them, waiting to be attained. But the truth is, abundance is not a destination. It is a state of being. Taoist philosophy speaks of Wu Wei, the art of effortless abundance, where things flow not because of force, but because they are naturally aligned. When you are in harmony with your purpose, life begins to unfold with ease. Struggles arise when we resist this natural flow, when we try to control what is meant to come to us freely. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that Dharma, or one's divine purpose, is the key to fulfillment. When you follow what you are truly meant to do, abundance follows naturally, not as a reward, but as a byproduct of alignment. Esther Hicks, in Ask and It Is Given, explains that manifestation is not about wanting, it is about becoming. The universe does not respond to desperation or fear, it responds to vibrational frequency. If you constantly focus on lack, you will experience more lack. But if you shift your awareness to gratitude, joy, and the feeling of already having what you seek, you raise your energy to match the reality you desire. This is not just spiritual wisdom, it is backed by neuroscience. The reticular activating system, RAS, in the brain, acts as a filter, allowing in only the information that aligns with your dominant beliefs. This means that if you train your mind to focus on abundance, you will begin to notice opportunities, connections, and synchronicities that were always there, but previously unseen. But here's the key. Abundance is not just about material wealth. True abundance is peace, love, purpose, and fulfillment. It is waking up in the morning and knowing that your life has meaning. It is experiencing joy in the smallest moments. It is feeling gratitude for what you already have instead of constantly seeking what is missing. Visualization is a powerful tool for shifting into this mindset. Close your eyes and imagine the life you desire, not as something distant, but as something you already have. Feel it, breathe it in. The mind does not know the difference between real and imagined experience, and when you embody the energy of abundance, you begin to attract it effortlessly. You do not need to struggle for abundance. It is already within you. The only thing standing in the way is the belief that it is somewhere outside of you. Shift your mindset. Align with the energy of what you seek, and watch as the universe responds in ways you never expected. The universe always provides clues. Life is not as random as it seems. The universe is always speaking to you through signs, symbols, patterns, and synchronicities. But most people move too fast to notice. They dismiss these whispers as coincidences, unaware that they are part of a greater conversation happening between their soul and the universe. In ancient traditions, divination practices such as tarot, astrology, and rune readings were not seen as fortune-telling, but as tools for recognizing patterns. They helped seekers tune into the unseen forces shaping their lives. In The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho writes about following the omens, trusting the subtle clues life provides to guide you toward your destiny. But to recognize these clues, you must first learn how to listen. Carl Jung's work on Jungian archetypes suggests that our subconscious mind is constantly sending us messages through symbols, whether in dreams, recurring themes in life, or even the people we meet. Have you ever had a moment where something you were just thinking about appears in front of you? Or where a book, a song, or a stranger's words answer a question you hadn't even spoken out loud? These are not accidents. They are synchronicities, invitations from the universe to pay attention. But how do you learn to recognize these messages? The key is awareness. Slow down. Observe. Keep a journal of repeating patterns, numbers, or unusual occurrences. Trust your intuition, because intuition is not just a feeling. It is a form of intelligence, one that connects you to something greater than logic alone. Science even supports this idea. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, also called the frequency illusion, explains why once you start focusing on something, you begin to see it everywhere. But this is not just a trick of the brain. It is evidence that where you place your awareness shapes your experience. So if you have been seeking answers, know this. They are already around you. The universe is always guiding you. It may not speak in words, but it speaks in the language of symbols, of synchronicities, of unexpected moments that make you pause and wonder. Trust what you feel drawn to. Trust the signs that keep appearing. The answers you seek are closer than you think. You just need to be still enough to recognize them. Aligning with your divine purpose. There is a reason you are here, not just in this moment, listening to these words, but in this life, in this existence. Your soul carries a purpose, a unique path that is yours alone to walk. But discovering that purpose isn't always simple. Many people spend years searching, questioning, wondering if they are on the right path. The truth is, your purpose isn't something you need to chase. It's something you need to remember. In Vedic philosophy, the concept of Swadharma teaches that each soul has its own duty, its own divine calling. No two people have the same path because no two souls carry the same lessons. Some are meant to create, some are meant to heal, some are meant to teach, while others are meant to learn in ways that expand consciousness for future generations. But the mistake most people make is looking for their purpose outside of themselves, believing it is tied to a career, a title, or external success. Your purpose is not about what you do. It's about who you are. In the Law of One, an esoteric text known as the raw material, the idea of soul evolution is explored. It suggests that every soul moves through different stages of consciousness, growing through experience, relationships, and service to others. The more we align with love, wisdom, and service, the closer we come to fulfilling our highest purpose. Purpose is not about personal ambition, it is about contributing to the greater whole. Neuroscience also provides insight into this. The dopaminergic reward system in the brain is activated when we engage in activities that bring us joy and meaning. This means that the things that truly fulfill you, the moments that light you up from within, are not random. They are clues guiding you toward your soul's blueprint. If you feel a deep sense of peace while helping others, creating art, or connecting with nature, those feelings are not coincidences. They are your higher self pointing you toward what you were meant to do. One way to uncover your purpose is through self-reflection. Journaling is a powerful tool for this. Ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? What have been the most fulfilling moments of my life? If I had no fear, what would I dedicate myself to? Your purpose is often hidden in the things you do effortlessly, the things that feel so natural to you that you don't even realize they are gifts. If you are feeling lost, know that you are not without direction. You are simply in a phase of remembering. Your soul already knows the way. You just need to trust its guidance. Follow the things that bring you joy. Listen to the moments that make your heart feel alive. Your divine purpose is already within you, waiting to be embraced. And when you align with it, the entire universe moves with you. The ultimate mantra for life's journey. Words carry energy. The things we speak, both out loud and in our minds, shape the way we experience life. Ancient traditions understood this well, which is why mantras have been used for thousands of years as a way to align with higher consciousness. A mantra is not just a phrase, it is a vibration, a frequency that tunes the mind and soul to a deeper truth. In Sanskrit, the word mantra means mind tool. It is a way to rewire thought patterns, to break free from limiting beliefs, and to bring the mind into harmony with the universe. In Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda speaks of how repetition of sacred words creates a powerful energetic shift, drawing divine support into one's life. This is why many spiritual traditions emphasize the spoken word, whether in prayers, affirmations, or sacred chants. Even the Bible echoes this wisdom. All things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8:28. This verse is a reminder that even when we cannot see the full picture, there is a divine order guiding everything. Faith is not about knowing every step in advance. It is about trusting that each step is leading you exactly where you need to go. Science, too, affirms the power of words. Neuroscientists have found that the brain's neuroplasticity allows thoughts and affirmations to physically reshape neural pathways. When you repeatedly affirm a belief, your brain begins to accept it as truth. This is why people who focus on gratitude experience more abundance, and those who dwell on negativity attract more of the same. Your words create your world. So here is a mantra for you to carry on this journey. I am on the right path. I trust the timing of my life. Say it now. Feel it. Let it settle into your being. Whenever doubt arises, return to this mantra. Whenever impatience creeps in, repeat it. The universe has not forgotten you. Everything is unfolding in divine timing, even the things that seem delayed, even the challenges that feel insurmountable. There is a purpose behind it all, a rhythm that is moving in ways beyond what the mind can grasp. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You are growing in ways you cannot yet see. And soon everything will align in a way that makes perfect sense. Until then, trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your journey. Trust in the divine timing that has brought you here. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Embracing the journey with faith. If you take a step back and look at your life, you will see that every challenge, every delay, every unexpected turn has led you to this exact moment. There were times you doubted, times you questioned if things would ever make sense, and yet here you are, still moving forward, still becoming, still unfolding into the person you are meant to be. There is an invisible thread weaving through your experiences, connecting every event, every lesson, every encounter. This is what Khalil Gibran alluded to in The Prophet when he spoke of life's mysteries, how sorrow and joy, loss and love, struggle and peace are all intertwined. No single moment exists in isolation. They are all part of a greater design. The journey you are on is not just about reaching a destination. It is about evolving, about expanding your awareness, about learning to trust that no matter how uncertain things seem, the universe is always guiding you. Gratitude is the key that unlocks this understanding. The moment you stop resisting where you are and begin to appreciate even the smallest blessings, something shifts. You start to realize that you are not lacking, you are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. Spiritual teachers throughout history have echoed this truth. Rumi once said, "Try not to resist the waves of your life. Let them carry you to the shore." What if you stopped struggling against the current? What if you embraced every experience, even the difficult ones, as part of your soul's unfolding? Even science affirms this wisdom. Studies in positive psychology reveal that those who practice faith, whether in a spiritual sense or simply in trust that life is working for them, experience greater well-being, resilience, and inner peace. The difference between those who suffer through challenges and those who grow through them is not their circumstances, but their perspective. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about walking forward even when you don't. It is about trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that will one day make perfect sense. It is about knowing that even the waiting, even the moments of uncertainty, are part of your preparation for what is to come. So as you continue on this path, remember this: you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are in motion, evolving, growing, moving towards something beautiful. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep believing that life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. And one day, you will look back and understand why everything unfolded exactly as it did. Until then, trust, have faith, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be.